Hi everyone, my name is Andrea, and today I want to talk about how it feels to find out you have chronic Lyme. So, this is a bacterial infection that can become, systemic and become chronic if you don't catch it in time. I've talked with several amazing people who have happened to have this in the past, many of whom are feeling healthy and fine today. Many of those people would attribute it to like God's intervention / miraculous healing. But they also have all gotten into like natural remedies to help repair on a cellular level, such as essential oils, healthy diet and exercise, environmental toxin reduction, and all these things you start learning about when you realize that there's quote unquote no cure. I guess pharmaceutically there's no cure for Lyme right now. They blast you with antibiotics, depending on what doctor you go to, and that can help lower the bacterial count in your body. But it's like my doctor, who's an LLMD, Lyme literate medical doctor, she doesn't really do that, especially in my case, because she thinks I've had it for a long time. So it was this weird journey for me. I got really sick 6 years ago, and I got allergic to a bunch of foods. I didn't feel good. My heart was freaking out. My blood sugar was freaking out. My hands and feet were hurting. And I read a lot about Lyme because I had a bunch of mysterious symptoms and autoimmune conditions developing. And the people I knew who had Lyme were like, you have it. So I got a couple tests done, and they were like, the traditional answer was no, and then the more LLMD type doctors like maybe. Got a follow-up test called the CD57, which was extremely low, so the doctor I went to after that was like, how are you walking? Like, you seem fine. And I'm like, yeah, I'm getting better. I changed my diet, I changed my lifestyle, I made peace with a lot of things, and my body's just feeling better. So I didn't really pursue a lot of treatment for Lyme at the time, besides rifle machine. So I got a machine with like an electrical coil that has different frequencies you can choose that you stand by, and supposedly those frequencies, some of them kill the spirochete form of the Lyme bacteria. So I did that once a week, and it did make me feel like crap. Standing by a powerful frequency emitting machine when you're already kind of sick makes you feel bad in general. Maybe it kills other stuff. Who knows? So then fast forward to this year, I'm married now, and we're talking about the possibility of having a kid, having my own biological child after all I've been through with my health. And I'm crazy enough to consider it. So we went to another LLMD here in Southern California, and she gave me the same test through iGenix lab, and my antibodies had doubled, so she went ahead and decided that the maybe is a probably. So I kind of appreciate that it hasn't been declared that I have chronic Lyme for two reasons. One, it would go on my medical record, and then I don't know, I've read too many horror stories about health insurance companies not helping out people with chronic Lyme the way they should, and it becoming kind of a stigma and a label that makes it harder for you to get the help you need. And then the second reason is I've seen people really live their diagnosis, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be told that I have something and then all of a sudden start feeling worse because now I'm aware that I have something. That doesn't make any sense scientifically. And I think the reason people live their diagnosis is that this is such a big factor. It's so important what we think and how we approach the idea of illness and recovery and healing. The fear is worse than the disease. And that's kind of something I wanted to share with you guys today is if you've been told you have chronic Lyme, don't start freaking out. I chose not to watch the documentary, although I'm glad there's a documentary and I hear it was well done. I don't want to see those worst case scenarios in front of my face. I want to talk to the people who've gotten better and learn from them, because that's what I want to emulate. Those are the people I want to look up to. And I want to not let a disease define my life or my friends or my choices. Sometimes you have to adjust, but that doesn't mean it has to define you. And I have this whole belief system that the hard things you go through make you the awesome person you are. So I'm glad my life isn't easy, and I'm glad I've had to battle with these things and learn how to overcome fear and learn how to cherish every day, even in the midst of a lot of unknowns, and learn how to give up control to a God who loves me, because he's the one that created my body and he's the one that can heal me from disease. So I'm a better person from it. All the health issues I've had, and I know there are many people who've had more than me, and I'm lucky. And I'm lucky that I've recovered. I still have little things. I still have, like, the scars or whatever, the little things you deal with every day, the little pains that come back every now and then, and of course the diet stuff that makes it harder to travel and makes you really have to plan ahead and spend a little bit more on food. But other than that, I feel great, and apparently I'm walking around with Lyme. That was my first thought when she told me she feels that I have it, is I'm not going to let this change anything if I can help it, especially up here. I know I've been feeling amazing, so why would I all of a sudden stop thinking that or question that? I'm just going to embrace it and feel lucky. And if anything ever comes up or comes back, we'll deal with that when it comes, but I'm not going to live in fear that it will. Since the title of this video is how it feels to be diagnosed with Lyme, disappointing, it feels unfair, and you wonder how your future is going to look. And that, I think, that's the reality check. But I think we can respond with one of two things. We can respond with self-pity, or we can respond with a bravery and a resolve to cherish life and to live every day to its fullest, and to live our values and embrace the people around us and the things that mean the most to us.